So, week 3 is finally here. So, we are going to finally start setting up the store. It is the 15th. We're on Saturday, the 15th of June, and we're going to start setting up the store. So, first thing that we incurred was we need to pay LV Remodeling Company for the remodeling job. Okay, so invoice number 1754, and we're going to be using a check. All right. So, how do I record this transaction? What am I going to do? Checking. Is checking going to come first or checking going to come last?
Last.
Yes, checking's going to go last. Okay, good. So then what's going to be my debit? Not inventory.
Okay. LV remodeling, whatever we paid them for.
Well, how do I know what the situation is if I'm paying them, right? Where can I get all this information about this particular transaction? Why am I paying them on the 15th? Oh.
There was terms of net 4.
There was terms of net 4. Okay. And where did you place this information?
Under subcontractor expense.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yes. We reckon.
Subsidiary. Oh, sorry.
No, that's correct. That's exactly correct, Christine. You are right here. We got to use the subsidiary ledger because, again, we're paying LV Remodeling, right, for bill number 1754. If I just simply look up in my subsidiary ledger under my vendors, right, boom, I have LV Remodeling here for my bill 1754, right? What are the details in here? I received the bill on the 11th, right? This is where Brenda was referring to the net 4, meaning it is due today. Now, how much is due? $18.90. Okay? And what account is this on? Where did I place this $18.90?
Accounts payable.
I placed it in my accounts payable because I owed them money. Now, I am no longer owing them money, so therefore, I need to decrease my accounts payable account. Okay, so there you go. Good. So 20,000. What is my checking account number?
1010.
And how much do I owe? And how much I'm going to pay them?
$18.90.
$18.90. Okay. Now I said, how am I going to pay for it? I said I'm going to be using a check. Oh, wrong one. I said I'm going to be using a check, right? So,
Recorded in the check.
good, right? We're going to go record this in the check register, right? We're going to be using check number 1514. For how much? $18.90. To who? Where are we writing this check out to? LV Remodeling. Good. LV Remodeling Company. Okay. So what should my description say? How do I describe this transaction that just occurred?
You paid?
You paid to who?
LV. Can you hear me?
LV Remodeling.
LV Remodeling. Good. Company. What else piece of information is pertaining this transaction? You said we paid, right? Okay, check number. What was it, 1514? Okay. Now you guys hinted that you paid something. How do I know I paid something? What did I pay? What was that?
Invoice.
Yes, we paid invoice number 1754. Okay. Okay, good. Now that my journal is done, what do I need to do next?
Put it in the ledger.
Put it in the ledger. Okay. So, first account I have is accounts payable. What am I going to put here?
And the payment for the invoice.
Good. Payment for invoice number 1754. I'm also going to put the check number 1514. Okay. What journal am I on?
Five.
5. So, I'm going to debit my account for $18.90. So therefore, how much is my account balance in my accounts payable account?
I got 13,786.
Good. 13,786 and 40 cents. Good. Now, I used a check, so I need to update my checking account. Okay. What am I going to put in my description here, or my notes?
Check 1514.
Check 1514. Okay. We're on journal number 5. And we're going to decrease my account by 1890. So therefore, what is my account balance? going to be at the end of this transaction on the 15th? What's my account balance?
$22.99.92.
229992. Good. Okay. What is next? Say that again. There's one more thing. Subsidiary. Right? We need to update that we made a payment and that I no longer owe LV Remodeling some money, right? So in this case right now, I'm outstanding $3,450. Is that true? No, I made a payment to them, right? So how am I going to fill out my subsidiary ledger? Okay. What's my note going to be for this transaction?
Payment with check number.
Excellent. So again, I'm going to go ahead and put payment, check number 1514. Okay? And what invoice am I referring to? Or what invoice is this payment associated with? 1754, right? We were on journal 5. And what column am I going to be filling out here? In this case, I don't need to fill out terms because I didn't receive a bill. I paid a bill. So these next 3 columns don't matter. Okay? Did I make a prepayment? Did I increase my invoice? Did I have a returns? Did I get a discount or did I pay?
We just paid.
We just paid in. We paid $18.90. So therefore, if you had your formula, okay, let's practice that formula. What's the formula going to be? Invoice minus prepaid minus payments minus returns. One more. Minus what? And discounts. Excellent. So therefore, I have a negative $18.90, right? Which brings my account balance to say that I owe LV Remodeling only $15.60 for the last bill here for the $17.60 was the same amount. So in this case, I made a payment, so it reduced the amount that I paid. I already linked it to the invoice, and therefore I only owe $15.60 to LV Remodeling. Okay. Good. Excellent. All right. So then, let's see what has happened next. What did we do here?
purchased office supplies.
We finally purchased office supplies. From where?
The office supply store.
Yes, very straightforward. Office supply store, okay? What did we buy? We bought printer paper, printer ink, pens, some labels, right? What is our grand total amount that came out? 150. Okay? And how did we pay?
Visa.
We used our Visa credit card to pay for this. Now, what accounts am I going to be placing this transaction in? What accounts am I going to be using?
Office supplies.
Office supplies, right? Let's take a look at the chart of accounts. Office supplies, okay, which is right here, office supplies. Now, in this case, I wasn't so specific, right, of the items I bought because in this case, they're all going to be spent and used anyway. So, do you really need to keep track of every single piece of paper that you use, every single pen that you use, every drop of ink that you use? No. I just want you to just recognize that you bought office supplies in the grand total amount of $150. Right? So that's exactly what we do, and we already know what our credit card is. So how am I going to journalize this transaction?
Visa payable.
Visa payable. And what else?
Office supplies.
And office supplies. Good. Visa payable. 22,000. Office supplies. What account number is office supplies? 11,800. And how much did I pay? 150. Okay. Right. So what are you going to write in your description?
He purchased printer paper, ink,
Okay.
pens, labels from office supply store.
Awesome. Okay. Office supply store. We bought printer. Well, I guess we bought paper, pens, ink, labels. Okay. That's good enough. Okay. Oh, and what else? What else is very important to this?
We use Visa.
We use Visa, but in this case, you don't necessarily have to say that you use a Visa credit card because you already have it put in the Visa payable. That's straightforward. Invoice, which is in this case, I have a sales receipt, so I'm going to do SR for sales receipt. Number 11,074,13. Okay, that's the proof of transaction right there. In case, for any reason, we need to go return any of these items, I have the receipt right here. Okay? Proof that the transaction has happened. So, what do I do next? We're going to plug it into the ledger. Okay? So, office supplies is an asset. Okay, here we go. Office supplies. What do you want to put in the notes? Okay, you want to list out all the stuff? Mm-hmm. We got printer, ink, paper, pens, and labels. Okay. Post reference. What page of my journal did this transaction happen on?
Five.
Page 5. And we increased our office supplies by $150. Okay. Good. Right? We need to update our credit card. So what I'm going to put on my credit card? Well, okay, you could say that. You could bought that we bought.
Office supplies?
Yeah, you could say off. Yeah, we just purchased office supplies. That's straightforward, right? Purchase, office supplies. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna see office supplies store on your credit card statement. So that's already given. So you could just say I bought office supplies. Okay. All right. And it's gonna increase your credit card by 150. So therefore, what is your total credit card balance right now?
170.31. Oh no, wait.
470.31.
Yeah, yeah, I was gonna say, don't forget that. Don't forget the three there. $300 more. So in this case, yes, 470.31. Good. Okay. All right. What comes after the general ledger? We dealt with a vendor, right? So what do you do with this?
You put it in the subsidiary.
So in this case, we went to office supply store. So LMNO. There you go. Office supply store. Okay. What do you want to put in the notes? You can put anything. You can put what you bought. You can put how you paid. Right?
Would you reference the receipt number?
Yep, and that's going to be in the invoice right here. So the receipt number, what was it? Okay. Receipt number 1107413, right? So then, in case you didn't return any of these items, you have the proof of the receipt, right? Proof that you paid for these items and that they have to guarantee, well, not guarantee, but they have to ensure that you did buy it from their store and that they are going to they're going to give you the refund. Okay? Post reference. Now, did I receive any terms? No, because I paid it in the store. So therefore, they're not going to give me terms because I paid it right then and there. So I paid at time of purchase. So in this case, no terms were given. So no discount due date or an actual due date. Okay. What else do I need to fill in? The invoice amount. Okay, the invoice amount. How much was it? 150. And did I pay for it? Yes, we paid using our Visa credit card. So again, running the formula down again, you should owe office supply stores nothing, right? Okay. Good. All right. So let's see what has happened next. All right. Here we purchased from wholesale food store. Okay. We bought 60 pounds of sugar at $1.36 per pound, right? Giving us a grand total of $21.60. And we bought 3 cases of a 12-pack coffee creamer, non-dairy, okay, which cost us $16.33 per case, which gave us a grand total of $48.99, which gave us a grand total due for $70.59. So therefore, we used our business credit card to pay for this. Okay? So, how am I going to record this?
You have a sugar account?
We have a sugar account, right? So let's take a look at my chart of accounts. So I have a sugar account. What else do I have? I have a creamer account. So 1177 and 1177.5. Okay. So am I going to journalize that first or last?
First.
First. So we got sugar, right? 11,770. And we got creamer for 11,775. Okay. How did I pay for it? Visa. So in this case, right? Now, how much was my sugar and how much was my creamer?
The sugar is 21.60.
Okay, and the creamer? $48.99. Giving you a grand total of $70.59. Okay. Where's the tax? How come I was not taxed? Why is there no tax? Why? Why is there nothing? Why did you not get...
This is food, right?
Because it's food. Excellent, right? Food is tax exempt. Okay, so therefore there is no tax here. So, okay, so that means I owe straight $70.59. Okay, so no taxes.
It's strange. Some states will charge you tax for certain food items.
Certain food items, yes, certain.
Yeah, like when I was in Arkansas, they tax you for water.
Wow. Okay. Especially like things like cat food, dog food. It's food, but they still charge us tax. Why? Because it's not food for us that we consume, right? So in this case, that's also one of the weird things too. Was why do we charge for cat food? It's because it's not everybody has a cat. Not everybody feeds an animal. So in this case, it doesn't fall under the category of the food and food and nourishment or something like that. Tax exemption. Okay. So in this case, all right, there you go. We pay with the business credit card. So what is going to be my description here? Where did I buy these items from? Yes, wholesale foods store. Okay, and what did I buy? Actually, that should be good enough. Yes. Sugar and creamer, yes. In this case, wholesale food store is pretty much all I need to put there, right? There's no technically a receipt for this because it's food, right? What are the chances that you're going to actually return food? Least likely, right? Especially because it's not against the law or anything, but when you do buy a purchase of food, sometimes not all stores accept it back just because, you know, it's food, it's perishable, right? What's the point of you bringing back bananas, right? It's just going to go bad at the end of the day. So in this case, sometimes food isn't actually one of those things that are not widely accepted as a return. So in this case, most cases, food is usually not something that you would return, okay? But again, if it's things that are packaged, such as sugar and creamer, I believe those are exceptions to the rules, but things like produce, not really. Okay, you buy it, it's gonna go bad, so at the end of the day, you can't really return it unless you either one, they miscalculated it wrong, that's the only time you'll get a refund for it, or if you purchase it and you didn't know there was mold in it already, that could be one of those excuses that you could possibly use to get a refund for. But in this case, no need. I'm going to end up using the sugar and end up using the creamer anyway. So I don't need a sales receipt here, but I do should record this in my subsidiary ledger anyways in case I do end up returning my items. Okay, but I also want to make sure I prove that I also purchased these items. Okay? So what do I need to go next, or where do I need to go next? Now that I finished my journal, we gotta do the ledger. Yes, so we're gonna update all of our accounts. So no invoice number, no need to. You don't need it. We're gonna use it. Okay. So let's see, we're going to go locate our business supplies for our sugar and creamer accounts. There we go, sugar. How many pounds of sugar did I buy? Or in this case, that's something you could put in here, right? How many pounds did you buy? We bought, 60 pounds. Okay. Okay. How much was it per pound?
$0.36.
Okay. We are still on the 5th journal here. And how much in grand total sugar did I purchase? $21.60. Okay. All right, what about the creamer? What should I put in my description for the creamer? What did you say? Yeah, we bought 3 cases, 12-pack each, right, of creamer. So 3 cases, which is a 12-pack of creamer, right? No specific size, right? But this is assuming this is the small bottle for a 12-pack creamer. And how much did it cost me per case? $16.33 per case. So therefore, how much in grand total did I pay for the creamer? $48.99. So, of course, because I used my business credit card, I need to update my business credit card. So, what is going to be my note for this transaction? Purchase what? How much did I charge my credit card for? Bringing me a grand total account balance in my credit card to be
$540.90.
$540.90. Excellent. Okay. Now that I finished my journal, when I finish my posting to the ledger, what comes next? Subsidiary ledger. Okay. I bought from wholesale food store. Here we are. Anything you want to put in the notes? What did I buy? We bought sugar. How many pounds of sugar? 60 pounds sugar. Okay. And 3 cases, 12-pack creamer. Okay. Do you need to put the cents amount? You can. Okay. If I do 60 pounds sugar, right? What was it? 36 cents a pound. Okay. And creamer, right? It's $16.33 per case. Okay. And how did I pay for it? Okay. Invoice number, none. Post reference, page 5. Okay. How much was the total amount that I purchased? $70.59. And how much did I pay? $70.59, right? I used my Visa credit card to pay the bill. So in this case, right, running my formula down here should give me a total of a 0 balance. So therefore, I paid at time of service or paid at time of purchase. So in this case, right, I don't owe them anything because I used a credit card and buy it on an account. Okay, it's actually quite rare to buy food on an account. Okay, so there you go. Okay, $70.59. So then let's see what happened next. We end up receiving a bill from Silver State Electrical, invoice number 335-1 or 3,351 for $1,070, due in 4 days. So we received a bill. Okay. Do you guys remember why we hired Silver State Electrical? Why did we hire Silver State Electrical for? To wire the shop for what? Why did the shop need electrical wiring done?
The coffee equipment?
Is there a particular coffee equipment?
Probably like the grinder or something that needs more.
Correct. We hired them because maybe our shop, right? There's only one outlet. I can't be plugging 2 coffee brewers in that outlet because then where's the room for the coffee grinder? And on top of that, if it's on one outlet, chances are you're going to short circuit cut your sorry about that, guys. You're going to short circuit cut your electricity, right? Because you're having too much power running on 2 machines. And on top of that, if an outlet has 2 sockets, right, and let's say you get a splitter or divider, right? Too much electricity out from one socket can cause another short circuit. So in this case, I needed a person to be able to build electrical wiring for a separate socket for the coffee grinder. Okay? Because I already plugged in my coffee brewer and I plugged in my second coffee brewer. Now I need one for the coffee grinder. So in this case, it's going to be going towards the coffee grinder as part of the cost for the coffee grinder. Now, where is my coffee grinder?
It's still a miscellaneous.
It's still in miscellaneous suspense. So therefore, I'm going to dump this expense into miscellaneous suspense. Okay? Okay. And when is this bill due? It's due in 4 days, right? So in this case, $1,070 is a lot. Are you guys going to pay for it now or choose to pay it later?
Accounts payable.
Let's pay it later. So therefore, we're going to put it on accounts payable. Okay, miscellaneous. What account number is miscellaneous? $19,990. And accounts payable should be $20,000. How much do I owe Silver State Electrical? $10.70. Good. All right. How should I finish my journal? What description do I need to put in here to describe this transaction? Right, we're going to start off with the vendor that we owe. So Silver State Electrical. Okay. Invoice. Okay. And we'll put in how many it's due in. Okay, just and then we have multiple places and multiple locations where we acknowledge that this bill is due in 4 days. Okay. So, now that I finished my journal, where do I need to go next?
The ledger.
The ledger. So, let's plug in our numbers, right? First account I have here. Miscellaneous suspense. Okay, should be the last account in your assets. Here it is. Oh, nope. Keep going. There you go. Here you go. So what do you want to put in the notes? You could put Silver State. Electrical. Electrical wiring for coffee grinder, right? You could put the invoice number instead of having to put Silver State Electrical. If you just put in the invoice number, you should be able to get all the details in who that person is, what was the amount, etc., etc. So, how much am I going to increase my miscellaneous expense account for? $10.70. So in this case, my grand total account balance in my miscellaneous expense account is $4,158.07. Okay, so that's the coffee grinder plus the foundation plus the electrical wiring. Okay, so that's what my coffee grinder is currently outstanding for. Okay. We need to update our accounts payable because we owe some more money to Silver State Electrical. Okay, so what do you need to put in the notes here? Not payment, we didn't pay them.
That's the invoice number?
Just the invoice number, okay? That should be sufficient enough because, again, if we just look up the invoice number, we should get the vendor, the date that you had it done, the amount, etc., right? The terms, everything, right? So in this case, an invoice is just good enough, right? Still on general journal number 5 here, and we increased our liability by $10.70, so therefore, what is my account balance in my accounts payable account?
$14,856.40.
14,856.40 is correct. Okay. All right, so here you go. I paid for one of the bills. Now I racked up another bill, so now I am at $14,856.40. Okay. Now that I completed my journal, posted to the ledger, what is next?
subsidiary?
We owe a vendor money. So therefore, we need to keep a track record of it. So, subsidiary ledger, right? Vendor, right? This is Silver State Electrical. So there you go, Silver State Electrical. What kind of note do you want to put here? If you think you don't need to put a note in here because it's kind of straightforward, right? Why would you hire Silver State Electrical? Obviously, you're getting some electrical work done. Then you don't necessarily need to put anything in the notes if you don't feel that it's necessary, right? It's pretty straightforward. Okay. So we can leave it blank if you'd like. Okay. What about the invoice number? What was the invoice number?
3351.
3351. Post reference. Where did we place the journal? We placed in a journal number 5. Was I given terms?
Net 4.
Yes, we were. Net 4. So, no discount they gave us. However, when is this bill due?
92.
It's going to be due on the 19th of June. For what total amount? $10.70. Okay. So if I were to type in my formula once again, how much do I owe Silver State Electrical? You owe them $10.70. Okay. That very same day, now it tells you, hey, the grinder is ready to be placed into service. So you can finally move the coffee grinder out of miscellaneous suspense account and into its proper account. So how do I do this? How do I move my amount from my miscellaneous suspense account into my coffee grinder account? You're going to debit your coffee grinder, right? Coffee grinder, okay? Which account number is, let's see, coffee grinder. My coffee grinder is and what account am I taking it out of?
Miscellaneous suspense.
We're taking it out of miscellaneous suspense. Okay. Now, how much is my coffee grinder? For what amount am I going to be taking out from my miscellaneous suspense account? $415,807. Okay, is what I'm going to be taking out from my miscellaneous suspense, and I'm going to dump all of this into my coffee brewer account. Okay, so as we know here, right? Your coffee brewers is right now 1528.07. We did 1560 worth of reinforcing the foundation and 1070 worth of electrical wiring. Okay, all part of the cost of the asset. Okay, so what's my note of or description to finish up my journal?
To move it out of the miscellaneous.
Good, right? To remove coffee grinder out from miscellaneous. Okay, good. So I already have my ledger here on the left. Since I'm already here, let's go ahead and remove it. Okay. Right, to remove the coffee grinder. Right, we're gonna credit our account by $4,158.07 to leave my miscellaneous account to 0. Okay? And I'm going to go now move it into my coffee grinder. Oh, I went a little too high. And there you go, coffee grinder. Anything you want to add to the notes for the coffee grinder?
Would you refer to the day that you bought it?
You could. Right, you could also refer to things like what work you had done on it. Right? Anybody want to just give me an example to just put in there? All right, what was the original price of the grinder? It was $1249.95, right? Plus tax of what is that? $103.12. Okay. Plus $175 shipping. Okay. Plus $15.60 for the foundation. Plus $10.70 for electrical wiring. Okay. And that should give you your grand total of the $4,158.07. Okay, so in this case, there you go. Now that I finished my journal and I posted to my ledger, what is next? What comes after the general ledger?
Subsidiary.
Subsidiary. Now in this case, did I involve anybody to move from one account to another?
No.
No. So in this case, do we need to use a subsidiary ledger?
Not really.
No. So in this case, we are done with this transaction. Okay. Let's see. Hey, I believe we might have enough time to do a couple more transactions here. So let's see what will happen here. On June 15, we end up submitting another purchase order to Atlas Coffee Importers, right? We decided to order another 125 pounds of regular coffee, which it was cost at $1.36 per pound, which gives a total of $170. And then another 125 pounds of Supreme coffee at $1.57 per pound, which gave us a total of $196.25. So in grand total, this purchase was $366.25.
You go to purchase orders.
You go to purchase orders, right? Correct. So purchase orders. Okay. It is the 15. Who am I ordering from? Atlas Coffee Importers. What am I buying? $250 pounds of coffee. What is my quoted amount? What was that? Not just only that. What was my total?
366.
366.25 is what I was quoted for all 250 pounds of coffee. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and we can do the next two and then we should be done for today, okay? So now that we're done with the 15th, it is now a new day. It is Sunday, June 16th, And we're going to be setting up the store once again by doing the very first thing is going to be establishing a petty cash fund, okay? So we're going to establish a petty cash fund for $500, okay? And Irene will be in charge of the petty cash drawer. So she's the petty cash drawer manager, all right? So how do we establish a petty cash fund? Petty cash, right? Okay, so let's take a look. Where is the account? What account number is petty cash? 10-200, right? We're establishing a petty cash fund for any minor business expenses, okay? And how much did we establish it for?
500.
500. Now, how do we put money into the petty cash fund? What do we need to do? Checking, right? Because in this case, right now, we don't have any cash on our hands. And especially when we're wanting $500 worth, right? We probably need some exact change. So we need to go send somebody to go to the bank account to cash out the check and take that money and put it into the petty cash drawer. So in this case, right, since we don't have a cash on hand, we need to cut a check. So how much are we going to write the check out for? 500. To who are we going to have to go get the money for us?
You put on the wrong date.
Oh, yeah.
16.
Got it. Thank you. Who are we going to send to get the cash to put it into the petty cash drawer?
Irene.
We're going to send Irene because she's going to be in charge of the petty cash drawer, right? We gave her a job. She already started on the 14th. So here's a second job she can do, right? She can go get the petty cash for the, why did I write Jasmine? Jameson, right? Jameson. Okay. If you have a reason why column, you can say for the petty cash drawer. Okay. So in this case, we're going to send Miss Irene to get $500 to put in the petty cash drawer. Okay. So, what should my description be for this transaction?
To establish the petty cash fund.
Good. To establish the petty cash fund. Okay. What else?
Would you put Irene's name in there?
You could. You could say Irene, right? Because you wrote the check out to Irene. You could say Irene is the petty cash manager. What else?
The check number.
Yes, the check number. Okay. So if Irene decides to take the $500 and run away with it, we know it's her because we wrote the check out to their name, and her responsibility was to fill in the money for the petty cashier. So if she runs away with it, we know exactly who was in charge. It was Irene. Okay. Okay. checking was 10,100. Okay, for $500. So, what comes after the journal?
The ledger.
A ledger. Okay? So in this case, we need to find the petty cash, which is account number 10200. Okay. What kind of note do you want to put in here? Establish, right? Establish petty cash, right? You can also say Irene is petty cash manager. Okay. Right. So how much is going to be in my petty cash account? $500. So that means no matter what happens, right? If Irene is going to be in charge of it, she needs to make sure that there will always be $500 or $500 worth in there. So if there's a whole bunch of receipts, it has to equal to $500. Okay? And of course, because we wrote a check, we also need to adjust our checking account. Okay? So, if I cut the check out for $500, what is my current account balance in my checking account? 10, yeah. So in this case, it's 179992. Okay. All right. So, do we need to use our subsidiary ledger? Why? No. Why? Right? This transaction, right? All we did was establish a petty cash drawer, right? Yes, we paid Irene, but we didn't pay for her to work. We paid her to put money into the petty cash drawer, right? Because she's the petty cash drawer manager, right? So in this case, no person was involved, okay, besides Irene to just put money into the cash register, right? We didn't pay her because she worked, right? So in this case, no subsidiary ledger necessary, okay? Let's see. Let's do this last transaction here, okay? We also decided to establish money into the cash register, okay? Right? And the cash register must have at least a total of $310 in the cash register at all times. So every morning that you start your day, you need to have five $20 bills, you need to have five $10 bills, $25 bills, and $51 bills, and $10 in coins. Okay? So in this case, right, you need to set up your cash register. So, how do you do this? How do you record that we're going to set up my cash register?
You do have a cash and register account?
Yes, we do. We do have a cash in register account. Okay. Okay. Another way, other forms that you would normally see this would be cash on hand. That's another popular account that other businesses use. But in this case, I have a specific one to make sure that this cash is going to be in the register. Okay. So in this case, account number.
And 300.
10300. Okay. All right. Now, how do I get this cash into the register? Especially with this exact change.
From the checkings?
Yes. So in this case, you are going to go to the bank, but in this time, you actually have to go inside the bank to get the exact change. Okay? Because again, you can't just go out to the ATM and expect the ATM to spit out all of this, including coins. Right? So in this case, you actually have to go into the actual bank. Okay? And cash out. Now, what am I supposed to be cashing out? In this case, what would be the best way? No. Okay, let's say I'm gonna have Irene also gonna be in charge of my cash register as well because I'll be so Bob will be in charge of making the products that we sell in the store. Irene will just be simply someone who's in charge of running the cash register and be in charge of the petty cash drawer. So how is she going to be able to get this exact change? Right? Hmm? What would be the best way? Okay, so this is very similar to establishing a petty cash. We obviously don't have cash in our hands. So how would we establish our cash register? Best way is to send somebody with the exact amount of checks so they don't take more than they need to. Okay? And they tell the bank teller, I need this exact change. So in this case, best way to do this is to write another check. All right, wrong date. Okay. Now, is it going to be to Irene or is it going to be the person? It doesn't matter in this case. So maybe I'll send Bob to get the job done, right? So in this case, Bob is going to be in charge of getting the money into the cash register. Okay? And he's going to take the check number 1516 to be able to put the exact amount of $310 into the cash register. And so he's going to go into the bank, cash it out, and put it into the cash register. So, what is your description going to be?
To establish cash register?
Good. To establish cash in the register. Good. And the check I wrote was check number 1516. Okay. So here I reached the end of my journal number 5 here. Of course, this doesn't look like there's enough space for anyone to squeeze in a transaction here, so there's no need to block this off. Okay. So when we come back from the weekend, we're going to start on page 6. Okay. So let's plug this into our ledger real quick. Okay. All right. Since we're already on my checking account, I'm just going to go ahead and enter in my transaction here. All right. We used check number 1516. Last transaction on my page 5. I wrote a check out for $310. So how much money should I have in my bank account? $14.89.92. So again, now we're running extremely low, but don't worry. The next day, we're going to actually start opening up our stores and collecting some money from some sales. Okay. So there you go. I have that there. I need to establish my cash in the register as well. Okay. Right? You can put whatever you want in here if you are very specific on how many dollar bills you need. So again, if you say, I'm going to establish cash to be, right, 5 $20 bills, okay, 5 $10 bills, right, 10 $5 bills, what was it, 50 $1 bills, and $10 in coins or something like that. I think $10 in coins. Okay. Post reference. Last transaction on page 5 of my journal. And my account balance in my cash register must hold $310 at all times. Okay? Good. And once again, nobody was involved in this, right? No vendor, no customer, no employee, right? In fact, we had the owner do this. So in this case, no need for the subsidiary ledger. Okay? Any questions in regards to